I love growing tomatoes, and it's tomato season again here in the north of Thailand at Suan Sook homestay. And this year I've got a bumper crop, and I want to share with you a little bit about a few things that I've done differently. We call these our Uncle Leo tomatoes because my great uncle Leo brought some seed back with him from Italy when he was serving there during the Second World War with the New Zealand Army. Our family's been growing them ever since, so they're quite special. The flavour's absolutely incredible. I have had some challenges growing them here in Northern Thailand, but I think they're adapting, as am I. And one of the things that I've adapted this year, when I planted them, I was focused on not pruning them. These are a determinate type of tomato, which means they bush out, and traditional practice says that you've got to trim out the suckers, trim out the laterals, which is a growth that comes next to the main stem at about a 45-degree angle where a leaf branch joins in. Traditional practice is said to take these out. Modern practice, there's people suggesting that it's a good idea not to take them out. So I thought I'd give it a try myself and see what happens. And this far, I am absolutely thrilled with the results. I've got more healthy tomato plants with more fruit on them than I've had in the past. I think whenever you're growing tomatoes, you've got to consider your situation when you're thinking about pruning. Determinate tomatoes don't necessarily need pruning. Other types, indeterminate, semi-determinate, and dwarf tomatoes may all need pruning. Here we've got determinate tomatoes that I've got enough space for them to spread out and grow. I'm growing them on my trellis that I've made specifically for growing tomatoes, and there's enough space for them to be able to spread out and for me to be able to tie them up and to support the weight of them, particularly when they're getting fruit on, because some of these fruit are nice and big. So because I've got enough space, because I have got a reasonably long growing period here in Northern Thailand, mornings and nighttime evenings are cool, but during the day it's still quite warm, and therefore it's a great situation to be growing tomatoes. It's not humid at this time of the year, so we're careful with watering them, we're careful with how much we feed them, and also the length of the growing time when we've planted them at the beginning of the cool season. And I said I haven't pruned them, but I do keep them trim. I try and keep the bottom part of the plant off the ground. Some of these ones have got a lot of fruit, so some of them are kind of hanging on the ground, but it's well mulched with bamboo sheaths and leaves. I haven't had any trouble so far, but it's a good practice to keep them off the ground, because when you're watering them, the soil can splash up and this can cause bacterial infection or some other problems with disease and mildew and so on. So it pays to try and keep the water and the dirt from splashing up onto the plant. So trimming the bottom leaves, trimming the bottom parts of the plant up until the first stem that has shown some flower buds, and then I'll leave them. But typically, and in the past, I have taken the suckers out, I've pruned them, I've kept them pretty lean and mean. But this year, I've got way more fruit, so I'm really going to pay attention to this and try and tweak how I grow them based on this. Along with the low-growing leaves, I'll also take off any leaves that are diseased or blotchy or looking a bit sad, because they're not helping the plant at all. And one thing about growing them on the teepee is that there is a lot of air around them, there's a lot of space in the middle, and the light and the airflow is really good. There's plenty of it, so I don't have any problems there. The birds love these tomatoes, so we've got to put these little bags on them once they start to show some colour. If the birds sense that they've got a little bit of colour, they're a little bit soft, they will come and find them and hollow them out as quick as anything. We bought these for our mangoes, and they help keep the mangoes from the bugs and the birds, and so I'm using them on the tomatoes also, and they work really well. The other key thing that I'm doing, because they're growing so vigorously, is that I am feeding them well with our concoction of a variety of organic nutrients. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more about what we do with organic nutrients, what we use and how we make them, you can check out this video next. Thanks very much for watching.